Hello, welcome to the 18th episode of XCOM, Enemy Unknown. The XCOMers are on their way to the latest crash site in Japan, and hopefully this mission will go by the numbers. As they come in for a landing, you can see the crash has left quite the firestorm, and it's... We interrupt this regularly scheduled broadcast of XCOM to bring you this just released footage of the soldiers on a terror mission. They've only just entered the building and already uncovered a berserker flanked by a Muton. Vorobyov lines up the shot and he tags the Muton. Sadly, it does look like 2 civilians have already been killed almost before this mission even starts. But the snipers are going to move into what they hope is a better firing position and see if they can put a stop to that.
Eyes peeled, Commander.
Palmer goes on Overwatch, and we immediately see this is not going to be a walk in the park for the squad. First a berserker and now a cyber disc. Palmer takes a reaction shot, but I'm afraid he only damages the wall in front of him. And Baroto follows suit, but with considerably more success. The Muton looks like he's going to fire, but not at one of the squad. He murders another civilian.
Although similar to the other floating specimens, this one seems to have much heavier armor and weaponry.
This does look like a substantial upgrade.
Wow, if nothing else, the XCOMers won't be bored here today. Romero goes ahead and draws down on that cyber disc that's practically right on top of her and Kuznetsova. She gave it a good stiff shot to wound it, and it looks like Kuznetsova gave it the finishing touch.
Why are you just standing around? Go!
Palmer manages to get a civilian out of the way and goes on Overwatch. Vorobyov shifts his position a little bit, and he's got a reasonable shot at the Muton, but can't connect. Evans shifted her position to the only cover available, but it doesn't leave her in a great position to engage the enemy. Baroto, meanwhile, lines up the only shot he's got at that drone, and he knocks it down. Wow, this is one Muton who's certainly demonstrated that against helpless civilians, he is quite the badass.
Shot failed to connect.
Palmer got off a reaction shot at one of those new heavy floaters, but couldn't connect, and that leaves one of them right next to Vorobyov. So Romero takes aim in an effort to see if she can knock him down, but misses wide. Not one to be easily discouraged, she takes a second shot and hits him hard. Kuznetsova does not have quite as good an angle, but she puts him down. Vorobyov moves back to a safer distance. Baroto goes on Overwatch. And while Palmer doesn't have a good shot, he goes ahead and takes what he does have. And then hunkers down.
I'm on it.
The plan here is obviously to turtle up a little bit and try to weather the storm. In that vein, Vorobyov throws a smoke grenade, and hopefully that will help keep them safe.
They're falling back!
Well, we hadn't seen that berserker for a while, but it was inevitable he'd come out. Heavy Floater, meanwhile, seems a little confused about exactly what he wants to do. Evans, on the other hand, has a plan. She's finally moved up to the front, and she is going to take 2 rapid-fire shots at this berserker. The first one nails him, and so does the second. He did not appear to enjoy that, and he goes rushing forward at Evans. Romero, meanwhile, takes the only shot she has, which is at the Mouton, and puts him down. Palmer can't connect with the berserker, at least not on his first shot, so he's going to try again. Sadly, he had no more success this time. The more experienced Baroto, on the other hand, not only hits him, he's got this thing near death. Unfortunately, we now see one of the downsides of smoke grenades, which is the berserkers charged right into the midst of it, and that actually makes it much more difficult for Baroto to take his shot. Now, Vorobyov is standing right next to the berserker and decides to switch tactics. Rather than go for the kill, he's going to use his stun gun and capture him alive.
On Overwatch.
Lest we forget, there is still a heavy floater that's been around for a while, and it looks like he's going to continue just sort of putzing around back there. Kuznetsova does get the opportunity to take a reaction shot, but misses by a mile.
They're trying to pull back.
Evans may have moved forward to take on the berserker initially, but she could scarcely have found a better spot to go after this heavy floater also. She hits him with her first shot and nails him again with the second.
Ready to rock.
And so, with Evans having set it up, Vorobyov knocks it down.
Ready to engage.
Roger, I've got eyes on.
With no visible targets, we're now looking at a round of reloads for those who need it and Overwatch for those who don't.
I'm ready.
Ready to engage. Moving to Overwatch. Roger. I've got my eyes
Roger,
on.
I've got my eyes on. I'm ready.
What's making that noise?
Well, if there was any doubt whether the area was secure, that should clear it up. They heard all kinds of evidence that there's more aliens, and in fact, there's a berserker and 2 Mouton. That berserker charged right up on Evans. Now that definitely puts pressure on the group to take him out. Unfortunately, Romero only has a shot at the Mouton. She does connect with her first shot, though not lethally. But with her second shot, she did what Romero does best. Roto fires his rocket and not only wounds both of these aliens, but it should do a good number on their cover as well. Vorobyov has moved forward and has a perfect shot at this berserker, but he probably would have done better to let Kuznetsova fire first. Now when the Berserker moves towards him, it'll be behind full cover and out of her sight. And sure enough, she can only fire at the one surviving Mouton. Oh, and despite a high percentage shot, does not connect. At this point, they go all in on killing the Berserker, so Palmer moves up out of cover. And again, despite a high percentage shot, he does not manage to hit. Evans is stuck between two very dangerous aliens and has to decide which one to go for. In the end, she opts to kill the Berserker. Now this Mouton could do some damage if he threw a grenade at Evans and Vorobyov, but apparently he's seen enough for the moment. And another civilian has been killed. That brings the death toll to 9 out of the 16 that were in this immediate area when the team arrived.
See ya in hell.
It doesn't look like running behind cover helped him a whole lot. At any rate, with him down, the crew now does not know where any of the remaining aliens might be. All they can do is move forward and take the best cover they can.
I've got my eyes on. Aye,
And 2 more civilians killed. So Evans moves up. They want to find these remaining aliens as quickly as possible. So far, they've only saved 2 civilians. This is turning into a bit of a bloodbath.
ready to rock.
Eyes peeled, Commander. On Overwatch.
Come get some.
Roger that. Scanning. Scanning.
You hear that?
It does appear Evans is headed in the right direction, although moving forward much more could be problematic. Oh, and another civilian goes down.
What's making that noise?
There's little enough cover moving forward. This is going to be tricky.
Got it covered. Eyes peeled, Commander.
Overwatch. Aye,
Eyes
aye.
peeled, Commander.
Overwatch. Aye, aye. Positive enemy contact.
Finally, they find another group, and it's yet another Berserker and 2 more Moutons. Well, at least this will be a familiar challenge for them.
Eyes peeled, Commander.
Moving to Overwatch. I've got eyes on.
It looks like this Berserker is going to waste no time in charging forward, so Palmer opens fire and gives him a friendly hello. Baroto does the same, but not quite to the same good effect. And in beautiful synchronization, the 2 snipers line up their shots and drill them. Vorobyov tries, but only manages to blow out the wall. And last, but certainly not least, Evans takes her reaction shot and puts him down. And with nothing more than reaction fire, the squad has managed to take out arguably their most dangerous opponent. Now they have to try to find those 2 Mouton and take care of them.
Overwatch. Aye, aye.
Overwatch. Eyes peeled, Commander. Roger that.
Scanning.
The good news is the XCOMers know where the Mutons are. The bad news is they can't really see to take a shot. So Palmer is going to use his rocket to blow out that wall. I'm sure he was hoping to hit both, but he just couldn't quite catch that second one in the blast radius. Still, getting rid of the wall did indeed open up a shot for Vorobyov, and he makes the most of it.
Affirmative. Covering now.
Baroto is just not in a position to do anything at all, so he moves forward. Evans is going to go rapid fire on the one surviving Muton, and despite having him flanked, she misses the first shot, but nearly kills him with her second.
Let's do this.
I half expected this one to move away given how badly wounded he is, but instead he steps forward and tags Evans for some damage. Fortunately, her armor did a pretty good job of protecting her, and she'll live to fight another day. Come to think of it, she doesn't have to wait for another day because she takes her revenge on that Muton right now. Overall, a very strong performance by the XCOM squad. I believe that last second shot that Evans took is the only wounds suffered on the entire mission. They did kill all of the aliens. The only real blemish was the number of civilians killed.
I can't say I've ever seen an operation.
Despite the number of kills, none of the soldiers managed to earn a promotion on this mission, but I'm sure that'll change next time. The most important achievement was the capture of the Berserker, and I believe Dr. Valen is eager to begin the interrogation.
So, how'd it go, Doctor?
Better than expected. Before the creature expired, I was able to extract some new information from it. This particular image appeared in the creature's thought pattern several times throughout the procedure. And there was a neural link in the creature's mind between this image and this one.
That's the thing that pulled a disappearing act when we shot down our first UFO.
It is the next piece of the puzzle.
Since what the doctor wants, the doctor gets, it's just days later they begin research on that shard that was all that was left of the outsider pilot that they tried to capture. It's Dr. Shen's belief that this shard can be used to track down the alien base here on Earth.
There you are. Tactical. Do we have an eagle over these coordinates?
Recon satellite Delta 2's just coming into line of sight. Now, sir. Coming on screen.
Nothing.
No, that's impossible. I know it's there.
Switch to thermal.
Hello.
Give me subsurface.
Gotcha.
Re-establish comms with all available ground.
Think of what we might find once we get inside that facility. Imagine what they might be doing down there.
I'm sure we'll find out soon enough.
Okay, we found it. Now how do we get inside?
I thought you'd never ask.
True to his word, Dr. Shen is able to construct a skeleton key to allow them access to the base. And with that, there's really no more point in delaying. So the commander gathers his squad, equipped in all new, more powerful armor, and they are ready to load aboard the Sky Ranger and go attack the alien base. That's going to do it for this episode. Thank you for watching, and I hope we see you next time for the assault on the alien base.
We've only got one chance to make this work, though.